What's going on, everybody? This is Juan with Gone Fishing Outdoors. Today we are doing a review on this backpack Ozark Trail smokeless fire pit. And the reason we are doing this review tonight is because if you've been following us on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, we are fixing to go do some trout fishing here in a couple of days, and we're going to do a catch and cook. And so in order to do a catch and cook, got to have a fire pit. And we're going to do it right on the side of the lake, so you got to have something to do it with, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down on the front porch. I'm going to get the camera turned around, and we're going to be using one of our DIY fire pokes that we made in the last video. If you haven't seen that yet, go by and check it out. And like I said, go by and check that video out because it is a good one, I promise. So like I said, let me get this flipped around. And these pokes are so easy to light. We're actually going to let my son light this and start this fire, and we're going to see if we can make us a pot of coffee. So stay tuned. And make sure that if you're having kids work with fire around you, that you are watching them the whole entire time, because after all, we don't want them burning themselves. This is the future generation of America. Well, I say this is easy enough for a kid to light, but he's having some trouble here.
Fire! It's a wind.
Oh, it's a wind, huh?
Yeah. Quick! 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 It's jammed up.
Alright, so we're going to get this turned around, and I'm going to light this puppy
No,
up.
it's jammed up.
Alright, so he was having some difficulties with the big lighter here, which I hope he does, because we don't ever want him smoking. So let's get this lit here. Get down here in a little less wind. Heck, I might be having some difficulties. There we go. Alright, so we got that lit. And what we're going to do is we're going to be stacking this stuff around it.
Like a mini fire.
And then we got to make sure to put our top on. And you know, at first I was sitting there and I was like, I'm kind of unsure about this, because these little deals right here, when they come out, they're pretty wide. So, I mean, it's going to take a good sized frying pan. But then if you keep them in, I believe Ozark Trail made them just big enough for this Stanley coffee pot to fit right like that. I mean, it fits perfect. So anyway, we're going to let this thing get started, get going. And once it gets going, we're going to put that on. We're going to see how long it takes to boil a pot of coffee. So as you can see right now, you're going to have a little bit of smoke. You're always going to have initial smoke when it first takes off. But as this thing gets going good, the smoke, your gas chambers are supposed to open up to where it starts circulating it, and there's going to be no more smoke. So let's see if that's true or not. Stay tuned. Alright, so I don't know if you can tell, but over on the side, you see how the flames are starting to come up from the side now? So the gas chambers are now coming out. They're opening up. And I gotta say, there's a lot less smoke, like none at all. I mean, this is all fire at this point. And this fire is high now. So let's set our pot of coffee on this dude. And we're gonna see how long it takes. So one thing I can tell you is that if you put a coffee pot or a pan on here, I would really advise either taking a pot holder with you or a rag to grab that handle afterwards, because I did have a rubber handle on that and I went ahead and took it off because I started smelling it, and because this thing has some ferocious flames coming out of it. I don't think it's going to take that long to get it boiling. And so we only got a couple of more minutes here, and I think it's going to take off. So let's see how it does. So the one thing that I might add is, while we got this fire going down here, the whole reason I wanted to get one of these is because I was looking into a Solo Stove brand, and I went on Amazon. The only ones that they had was anywhere from $89 all the way up to about $200, depending on how big of one you wanted. The $89 one was only 4.5 inches around, and the $200 one was about 12.5 inches around, I believe. And I'm just trying to put this in a backpack, and so 4.5 would have been nice, but I'm not going to pay $89 for it. Ozark Trail had this one that started out at $39.99, and then they had the bigger one, which was for more of a backyard or front porch type scenario, and it was $89.99. It was on sale for Black Friday. This one here, regular price, was $39.99, and I got to say that after watching this one and how it performs, it is so close neck to neck with a Solo Stove brand by what I've seen on reviews on other channels, that I would highly recommend this $39 one to anybody out there that is looking into getting one for their backpack. So stay tuned, and we will continue to see how fast this cup of coffee can boil. Okay, so our fire has kind of died down some, which is perfectly fine, and we're about 3 minutes in. The water is already boiling, so here in about 2 more minutes or so, we're probably going to have some good fresh coffee to drink. Alright, so looks like our pot of coffee is freshly brewed and ready to go. Took about 6.5 minutes, not bad. We're going to go ahead and pour this cup though. Like I said, use oven mitts or a rag because that handle looks hot. But most people like their coffee black. I prefer to have some creamer in mine, and International Delight is the only way I roll. Now that's a good cup of joe. Hope y'all liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit the follow button down there and subscribe to this channel. Hope you look forward to more future content. Tight lines, everybody.